Can we begin tonight's meeting with the pledge? Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Late.
You know, some mayors.
There's my can. I didn't bring my agenda.
That goes right to the wife.
Could I have a motion to approve the village board meetings from July 10th, 2023?
I'll move it.
How about 25?
25.
I'll move it as amended.
Who did it?
I don't know.
Mike did. Second. Okay.
We're off to a great start, right, Joey?
Yep.
Is there any additions, corrections? I could make one, but
Don't.
I won't. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Citizens' comments. Anyone wishing to address any of the items on the agenda? It's going to be a long night. Tongue's tripping. Hearing none, we'll move to trustees' comments. Hi, Donna.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I was going to add something to the agenda tonight, but I'm not sure it needs to be an agenda item or a vote. But the ad hoc committee of citizens and organizations who are putting together a pedestrian safety campaign would like to ask the village to authorize the use of the village's logo on our materials. I've got a list of the organizations that have so far agreed to do this. The Baldwinsville Public Library, the Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce, the Baldwinsville Central School District, the Town of Lysander, the Town of Van Buren, Baldwinsville Kiwanis, Greater Baldwinsville Ambulance Corps, Heart Home and Community, Belgium Cold Springs Fire Department, Northwest Family YMCA, Radisson Community Association, Baldwinsville Center for the Arts, and the Baldwinsville Police Department. So
I'll make a motion that we accept that and they can use our logo.
I make a motion to add it to the agenda.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean, is it something that we need to vote on, or can the mayor just unilaterally authorize it?
So we're adding to the agenda.
I guess we'll add it to the agenda. All right.
You should have a motion because
I-
so that nothing comes up, it really, the board should approve it, or the village should
Okay,
approve it.
that's
The
fine.
village in this instance is the board.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, Hori Donna's.
Now, Donna, do you expect that to grow? Those?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so
Yes, yeah,
do we timestamp this as to what was announced as far as who are authorizing to use that? Or are we the ones, or your group is the ones who's gonna use it? I don't understand exactly.
Okay.
talk about it and when it's
Yeah, we're
comes
producing
up on the
all
agenda.
these graphics, and on these graphics, we are adding logos, emblems, whatever, of the various organizations that have endorsed this campaign.
Yeah, I'll probably have more questions when we discuss it, but that's okay.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
We'll move on to trustee
I'm
Collins.
just gonna stick to the agenda tonight.
The same for me, agenda.
Okay.
I think I am good with the agenda.
Go ahead.
Hey, Doreen,
I'm sharing
Ray,
with Mike.
We're gonna have a quick meeting, but I have 2 executive sessions for this and that, or contractual matters.
G,
Yep.
two separate ones.
Yeah.
And that too.
Okay.
It's 2 separate issues. So. Other than that, I'll stick with the agenda.
I'll stick to the agenda.
Okay. I have some first I have a question for Jody. The thing that we talked about,
Yes.
I don't have a modified agenda in front of me. Did the trustees get that?
No.
No, okay. Do we need to add that to the agenda?
Yep, you got it.
Okay, your G's moving down. Because I'm gonna add item G, which is I have it in front of me, it's a pro-housing community pledge that that be authorized to sign, a resolution. That'll be G, and then Mike's stuff will be H and I, if I remember. I also wanted to remind everybody and discuss that Route 48 will be closed to northbound traffic, Route 48 being the Syracuse Street, as New York State DOT works on the bridges. The alternate route is 690, go out and cross the river and come back into town, or take Hinkle Boulevard or wherever you're headed. They're working on the deck. I don't know exactly what that work entails. I do, except the deck is the surface, and they're working on, if you've gone across the bridge, expansion joints where the metal, there's expansion joints between the permanent pavement and the bridge, and those are badly separated. They're gonna work on that. If they do not complete the work this Saturday, they will return the following Saturday. And I guess they will continue to come back on Saturdays as long as it takes to get it done. Hopefully they finish this week. Cindy, I don't have the answer. One of your questions was, can people go down Grove Street, Tappan Street? I assume they can, because I don't think that would interfere. I assume they will block the road where they want no cars coming northbound.
People that are heading.
Their official detour is to go Downer Street to 690. But, you know, I don't think they're blocking the side streets from people traveling. They're just
Is there
not.
any signage though to kind of let people know that aren't from this area? I mean,
I don't know, it's a New York State DOT highway project.
you know,
As much as any other state project, they put up signs, detours, and
Well,
I go through communities all the time that I don't know the area, and there's a detour, so I have to follow the detour signs. You figure it out.
what happens the day
Your
of?
GPS keeps
What
telling you rerouting,
I know,
rerouting.
I know.
What happens if the day of they come in and they close off streets that they need to be closed up, or if they close off a portion of Tappan Street, or close off a portion of Canton, or Marble? I mean, do you have any authority to go over and say, well,
I haven't gotten any notification from them that that's what their plan is.
so at this point, we still don't know exactly where they're stopping traffic?
My speculative guess is they'll stop traffic, either at Tappan or at Water. To let traffic get to Water Street, which is obviously a one-way street as you're heading north there. They'll probably stop it right there. Because there are people that live there and there's businesses there as well. So my speculative guess is that's where they're gonna stop traffic, heading northbound. And,
So do you anticipate somebody still being able to take a left and go down toward the smokehouse prior to the bridge coming north?
I honestly don't know. I haven't got any specific notification from them.
They specifically say the northbound traffic will be detoured down Downer
Right,
Avenue, which isn't.
so.
But I don't know that it's talking about local traffic.
Yeah, I mean, you always have to, I'm sure they're taking into account local traffic. But to answer your question, I don't know. I know as much as the mayor knows, which is what they've sent us.
And I understand that, I'm just wondering what, the day of, do we have any recourse to tell them not to do?
I don't think you're gonna be able to tell them they
Can't tell us.
can turn left. I mean, that,
There's not,
Water Street is virtually on the bridge.
I get it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard for them to set up and do construction and have people driving through that.
Yeah.
Right.
But who knows, I don't know what.
You know, if someone says they have to get to my family's home on Water Street, they'll be allowed to do that. But if they're saying that I have to get to my family's home with their intention of traveling north over the bridge, yeah, no, they're not gonna get to do that. They're gonna get turned around and sent back to Down.
So let's cross our fingers to get it done in one day.
Yeah, and I assume you still have flag people out there, not just
Yeah, no,
Just a sign.
they've been planning this for some time, so it's what they do. That's their belly.
Okay, well, just cover that. Wanted to remind people also the board meetings will return to the first and third Thursdays beginning August 7th. We continue to do every other week. Wanted to remind people before we get together again, Shakespeare in the Park will be out on the island August 5th. And the Flotsam Floating Circus, August 15th on Marble Street. And I want to request the board, our clerk is going to remind the community about my Baldwinsville book. Half of our board is yet to sign up. It would be good to participate.
I'm on there. I got my first
I'm not
notice.
naming names.
I am naming myself. I'm there.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not on there because when an alert comes through, Megan just sends me a text, so
Oh, I signed up.
I'm there by proxy.
Oh, the new app?
I signed up
I'm
the
on.
first day,
Okay,
and I get messages.
moving on to department heads. Move to our attorney.
I just have one comment. I've been having discussions with our code enforcement officer, and there's an issue in the village relative to signs being placed in our right-of-way. The village code provides that the sign, for example, advertising a business, needs to be placed 4 feet back from the right-of-way line. And so the codes officer has been taking away certain signs that are basically in our property, in the right-of-way, between the sidewalk and the road. And there have been some objections to that, people thinking that they own the property up to the street, which they don't. The village's right-of-way, or in some cases a state right-of-way, exists beyond the level of the road. So there are differences, or there confusion, I think, relative to what our code is and what people's rights are relative to signs. But our code is very specific that signs cannot be placed in our right-of-way. So I am going to be discussing this further with our codes officer, and he's been taking signs down. But if people continue to do this, then I think he has no choice but to issue tickets relative to, or notifications of code violations relative to their placing signs there. So I just wanted to alert everyone that they should take a look at their home survey to see where on their property, particularly if there isn't a sidewalk, where the right-of-way line is, and understand that those, whatever signs that are put out, and of course you need a sign permit, need to be placed beyond the right-of-way line. But other than that, I have nothing. I'll just stick with the agenda.
Did you happen to trip across you were looking at that, I haven't looked at it recently, but the little sandwich signs, board signs?
Yeah, those.
If the person takes it down, put it up in the morning and take it in the evening?
Yeah, and they can be, as long as it doesn't, in the sidewalk, that's basically having to do with, in some instances, restaurants, et cetera. They cannot interfere with sidewalk traffic.
Okay.
But there are other signs that apparently are being placed within that on more or less of a permanent basis. So I'm going to have just further discussions with the code officer, but I just wanted to make people aware of the fact that there is a right-of-way line. It's invisible because you have to take a look at your survey to see where it is, but it's there.
And routinely, just for rule of thumb, if you don't have a sidewalk, somebody said it's 10 feet?
I believe so, yeah.
That's what our code says.
Yes.
Anything else?
And other than that, I'll stick with the agenda.
All right, I wanted to update everybody on the new Baldwinsville app. It's called My Baldwinsville. It's been out now for about 2 weeks. We've had about 70 residents sign up so far. You can go onto your Apple app or Google Play and download it. It is for free. We encourage everybody to do so because we're going to put notifications out, if there's service interruptions, village events, updates, any important information that'll be linked right to our website. When you download it, please go in and sign in. You'll be able to put in your information, your address information, which is important. because if we do have any street closures or water main breaks on that specific street, we can just send it out to those people in that area, so it doesn't have to go to, you know, anybody else that's not in that area. We will be sending, with the 3 billing cycles that are coming up, everybody will get a flyer in there to encourage more residents to participate in this. You can download the app. There's a phone number to call if you just want a phone call. And then there's also, you can just get just a text message if you don't want to download the app. So there is 3 choices, however you need to do that. And we do have with the phone call, there is a voice on there. Actually, the name of the voice is Ruth, which I thought was kind of appropriate. But we encourage everybody to please sign up for it. And if you have any questions, please call us. It's very easy to download. Like I said, it's for free. So that's what we've been working on. And I will stick to the agenda.
Yeah. I just downloaded it, it takes 2 seconds.
See?
Thank you.
And Jody, just, it is not limited to only village residents. Anyone can
anybody can.
download it if they're interested in knowing that the bridge is gonna be closed on Saturdays.
Yes.
So,
Just to revisit why we went this route was because of some water main breaks and trying to get information to people. It benefits people to sign up. And we're not gonna be sending you, how are you this morning, notifications. We'll get bombarded with that kind of stuff. Mr. Treasurer.
So just one item that I wanted to make you aware of, it's kind of a running thing that is gonna hit your desk sometime in the fall, but I'm doing research on us changing our fiscal year. Right now our fiscal year is March 1st to February 28th. And really what I think I'm trying to do discovery-wise is what the pros and cons are of it, because with the elections being moved to November, there was some kind of synchronization in the past where the fiscal year ended and the budget was prepared right before a new board was seated, and so this would kind of work the same way if we changed the fiscal year to the calendar year. And you know, the 2 towns both use the calendar year, and there's several other entities that we deal with that use a calendar year, and it might simplify our lives in a lot of ways. At the same time, there might be some complexity to changing it, both from an accounting standpoint and the legal standpoint. And so I want to get all that together for a presentation of some kind to you and let you, you know, hash that over and decide what you feel the best thing is for the village. And then we'll do that. But I think if we intend to do it, the nuts and bolts of it would be that this year when we budget, the budget would go from March 1st to December 31st of 26. So it would be a 10-month budget. And then January 1st of 27, we would become a calendar year entity. So
we wouldn't have to be doing our budget between Thanksgiving.
Well, you know, put that on your list of pros. Some people here might put that on a list of cons. That could be a pro, is that we're not sitting here between Christmas and New Year's, you know, working out the last hard items, right? And the same thing with having a meeting sometime in January like we had to do last year. So it's just something to be thinking about. It's definitely on my radar, and it will absolutely require some help from an outside accounting firm. So there'll be that probably.
Is that something, I'll look toward Bob, is that something the board can change, or does that end up having to be some kind of?
Yeah, that's got to be, I'm going to take a look at that further, but and whether there needs to be a public hearing, probably. But I don't think there has to be a referendum, but I'm not really sure. Look, I'll get something out to everybody.
Okay.
Anything else, Mark?
Nope, stick to the agenda for the rest.
Going to our senior citizen coordinator.
Thank you. Just wanted to put out there to the seniors that the Onondaga County again has offered through their senior nutrition program for the farmers market coupons. They are available at the center, so people can give us a call and come on in and get signed up so they can get their coupons. In our upcoming events, we are doing the senior prom on August 1st at 6:30 p.m. or 6 p.m. So if you guys want to come out and join us, that would be great. $16 a ticket. It is a sit-down dinner and a dance. So we appreciate all the attendance that we can get. And August 6th, we're again having karaoke, so we want to invite you guys for that as well. The upcoming car show is going to be August 13th. That will begin at 5 to 8 p.m. with a rain date of the 20th of August. And then we have a upcoming flu clinic scheduled at this point to start September 2nd, so we can get people signed up for that as well. And other than that, we'll stick to the agenda. Unless you have anything else you want to bring up.
No. But I will. Anybody else has anything? Hello, DPW Superintendent.
Just want to make everybody aware, first week in August, crews will be starting work on the Baldwin Canal Square project, the rehab project. Be taking the pavers up and fixing a lot of the dips and dives through there. Expect about a 3-week project to get that rehabbed. Second week in August, kind of echo what Mr. Baldwin was saying about the signs. I will be sending a crew around to pick up any signs that are in the right of way on utility poles. So if signs are not compliant, please get them out of the right of way. So we're not removing them for you. And that's all I have.
When you do the Baldwin Square, could you also revisit the little narrow garden that goes between that sidewalk and the businesses?
Mm-hmm.
Two of the property owners have worked on their gardens. Other gardens haven't been touched, and they're kind of weedy and stuff.
Can do it.
I could use some mulch and attention.
Sure.
Thank you.
And Jody, I had mentioned to Taryn that I think we should notify the farmer's market and the Beagle Diner that construction will be going on during that time frame, and offer them the use of Mercer Park if they'd like to relocate there temporarily. If that's all right with you, if you think that's...
Yeah, I'm just wondering, are you moving a whole bunch of big equipment and stuff down there?
Well, they're pulling up all the pavers and everything, so it's not really gonna be walkable for a farmer's market
Okay.
without a lot of construction cones and whatever. I think I would rather not have people walking through and accidentally trip and twist their ankle
Falling
because
into
because the pavers aren't level.
Okay.
Back to the signs, just to be clear with everybody. You're only removing signs that are improperly placed.
Correct.
It doesn't matter what is on the sign. You could be advocating for the whispering frogs and them being extinct. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
It could say your favorite color is blue.
Yeah, and even the
regardless
watch
of
out
what's
for
on the
motorcycle signs, those aren't compliant. Those will be, if they are in the right way.
Only non-compliant signs regardless of verbiage.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if anybody is confused as to what is compliant, that's the codes office, they can tell you. Moving on to the police department.
Nothing apparent unless there's questions for us.
Do other agencies have cars that look like yours?
Meaning what?
That particular unmarked vehicle.
The what?
The car you drive, the chief's car here, do other agencies, I thought it was unusual that it's whatever color that is.
Gray?
Yeah, well, whatever, yeah.
Yeah. They all do.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought I saw you in action, that's why I'm asking. But maybe it was somebody else.
In that car?
Yeah.
When would that have been?
2:25 this afternoon.
It wasn't me.
Okay.
No, not me. the lieutenant, the sergeant, and sheriffs, they were looking for someone at that point in time.
No,
But it wasn't me, they were looking for somebody new.
I had never noticed any other police agency having a vehicle that identical to yours, but there is one.
Oh, there's multiple.
Okay.
If you drive down the thruway, all the troopers just wave because they know it's a police car.
Okay.
It's like the unmarked marked car. They only make the administrative package in so many colors, and that's the most popular one, I can assure you of that.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely. I like those kind of questions, those are easy.
Confusing at first.
Okay, under new business, item A, we have a motion to accept the resignation of Sandy, is it Robbie? Rabe, from the planning board effective July 15th, 2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Looking at the emails that went back and forth from Terry, if we could add with regrets. Apparently Sandy's job is taking her out of the country more often than she'd like, and she can't attend the planning boards with any sense of regularity, so she's stepping down for now. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Item B, motion to appoint John Bach from this position of alternate planning board member to planning board member effective July 15th, 2025.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
As an addendum to that, that leaves the alternate seat vacant.
ask.
If there's people in the community that have interest and skills in the area of planning or construction in that area and would be interested, please contact Village Hall. We'll be in touch with you and refer you to the planning board for their consideration. Item C, motion to return for no return of deposit for the event on Paper Mill Island held on July 19th, 2025.
Motion.
Second for discussion. What happened?
Taryn can explain that.
Sure. It was the last concert we had over the weekend. There was trash strewn all over the island, overflowing trash cans, bathrooms not cleaned. We had a light pole damaged. We had a trash can damaged. The fence to the island bridge was damaged. We spent on Sunday morning, we had one DPW worker spent 3 hours just at the island picking up, and then the following Monday we had a whole crew of 6 over there for at least 2 hours for the whole crew, and then Jeff was there the whole day.
Will the deposit cover all of that?
I think
Then we don't levy more if we need it to cover, we can't?
I don't think the contract would allow that.
And they had toilet paper the whole night, which was good.
They did. They just said
Those are the phone calls I got.
It's gonna take a while for you to get over this.
Yeah. With that explanation, I'm ready to vote.
Second.
We already did.
No, okay.
Yes, it's done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Which brings just to consideration, several years ago we ran into the same situation with an entirely different vendor, promoter, who found the $1,500 to be less than it would cost him to hire people to clean up. If we have a situation that we need to, for next year, revisit what that security deposit is, because we really don't want our people doing this because they have other things they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Right, keeping this deposit isn't revenue. It's money spent, so it's not, we're not making out, and we are doing them a favor. My problem would be, if we were to increase that, what would that do to the smaller events? And could we arbitrarily impose a larger deposit on events that we know are gonna be bigger and treat them individually? So that's a
So that's the thing though, yeah, it's a slippery slope, because we don't know what size those events could, bring. I mean, obviously, if it's a big event like like a 95X sponsored thing, then that would be a little more, because obviously people from all over the place are gonna end up being there. But with that event, I wouldn't think that that kind of a mess would have happened.
Just as an aside, talking about next year, Taryn does have some ideas that would help mitigate
Yep.
situations
Yeah,
like that
We do have some.
we may
Okay.
bring to the
Good
board at a later
solutions,
date.
Okay.
Item D, motion for the DPW to seek approval to utilize $41,606.22 of the $66,289 equipment surplus funds from the sold DPW surplus equipment to procure a John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Motion.
Second.
Brand new?
It'd be brand new. The reason for this, I'm a big believer in having a piece of equipment that can function in multi-roles. Over the last winter, one of the deficits I saw was keeping the sidewalks clean down in the business district. We don't really have anything small enough to do that currently. So this tractor would come with a snow blower, a power broom, which we would use for small snow events, broadcast salter. It'd also come with a loader, heated cab. In the summertime, the power broom, we're gonna use it to clean off the bridge, clean the sidewalks. Also doing a lot of the mulch beds, particularly Paper Mill Island. Having the big piece of equipment that we have really does more damage than good. And this will help mitigate a lot of that damage and keep us productive and successful with that.
And I'd just like to talk about the funding for it. We didn't give away, but we were able to sell equipment that was no longer useful for us and brought in over $66,000. And so I think it's more than appropriate to use those funds to go back into
Reinvest.
equipment in this department. And I think Taryn's done a good job of looking for the right equipment to do multiple projects throughout the year.
And I'm gonna defer to our treasurer and our attorney, is this copacetic?
Are you getting that from a specific vendor that's on the list, or?
Yeah, the John Deere, there's a New York State OGS contract that would be coming off of that OGS contract.
Okay, so that takes care of the bidding requirement.
Correct.
Okay, just want to be sure of that.
Okay.
And that's okay from your,
I got no problem with the money on it.
okay.
He did say that he asked Mark first if Mark needed the money for anything.
Oh, he's got to ask.
Snow blowing a 48-inch wide sidewalk with a 60-inch wide vehicle has always been a pet peeve for me. I watch it every year, and then I watch them seed the grass every year on the sides, and just don't understand why.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carried. Item E, motion to approve the village treasurer allocation of $50,000 from the general fund to close out the payments for the new roof on the Cantonwood Senior Center.
Motion.
Second.
Do we desire discussion? Any? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item F is Donna's motion, so.
Yes, this is a motion to authorize the placement of the Village of Baldwinsville's logo, the emblem of the bridge, and all that on the printed materials being used by the Slow Down, Look Around, Keep Baldwinsville Safe campaign. And there's a whole list of municipalities and organizations that have already given us the go-ahead on this. And I would like to see the Village of Baldwinsville join all those organizations.
Can I make one comment? That since our logo itself doesn't necessarily identify it as the Village of Baldwinsville, can we, in whatever gets used, also, maybe right underneath it or something, just put
Yeah, if somebody
Village of
wants to do
Baldwinsville?
the graphics, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Okay, we can come up with something to, I'll work with you, Joe. It won't be hard.
It's easy. Village of Baldwin.
Yeah, that'd be great, yeah.
Just so, because, you know, people may see that and think, oh, great, but what tree and bridge is supporting this? So,
But there's no
I'd like it
financial
to
commitment
identify
involved in this.
Village of
We're
Baldwinsville,
not
so.
asking for money, just,
right,
you know, just the endorsement of the Village of Baldwinsville.
What is yours, the committee's goal, time-wise, of when you see this coming out?
You know, hopefully we're gonna get this campaign going, you know, within the next few weeks. Is that right? Do you think we have a shot at that, Mary Ann?
I would like it to start being shared before school starts.
Yes.
Right.
Maybe next meeting, we could have like some kind of presentation.
We need a motion.
Yeah,
Wanna
that'd be,
see
you
it?
know,
I
maybe
can-
we can have,
I
you
can-
know, some people on the committee come in and do a little presentation.
I'll second the motion. She made the
That's
motion.
my motion, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? There's the, anyone opposed?
no.
Carried.
Thank you.
Let me scroll up through, you can see everybody down at the bottom, and whatever. Item G
You didn't have any additional.
is the pro-housing. Do you want to read that resolution? Or am I reading it?
I can read it.
It's the pro-housing communities model resolution.
It's the Pro-Housing Communities Pledge, whereas the Village of Baldwinsville believes that the lack of housing for New York State residents of all ages and income levels negatively impacts the future of New York State's economic growth and community well-being. Whereas the housing crisis has negative effects at regional and local levels, we believe that every community must do their part to contribute to housing growth and benefit from the positive impacts a healthy housing market brings to communities. Whereas we believe that supporting housing production of all kinds in our community will bring multiple benefits, including increasing housing access and choices for current and future residents, provided integrate accessible housing options that meet the needs of people with sensory and mobility disabilities, bringing economic opportunities and vitality to our communities, and allowing workers at all levels to improve their quality of life through a living closer to their employment opportunities. Whereas we believe that evidence showing that infill development that reduces sprawl and supports walkable communities has significant environmental and public health benefits, and whereas we believe that affirmatively furthering fair housing and reducing segregation is not only required by law, but is essential for keeping our communities strong and vibrant.
You don't need to do the now therefore.
This
What's-
wasn't on the agenda,
no.
so can the public make a comment now? Like when you said, does anyone have comments pertaining to the agenda, this hadn't been added to the agenda?
Let me see if we need to read any of the rest of it.
Now therefore it is hereby resolved that the Village of Baldwinsville, in order to take positive steps to alleviate the housing crisis, adopts the Pro-Housing Community Pledge, which will have us endeavor to take the following important steps: streamlining permitting for multifamily housing, affordable housing, accessible housing, accessory dwelling units, and supporting housing, adopting policies that affirmatively further fair housing, incorporating regional housing needs into planning decisions, increasing development capacity for residential uses, enacting policies that encourage a broad range of housing development, including multifamily housing, affordable housing, accessible housing, accessory dwelling units, and supportive housing.
Yes, I'll give you an opportunity to address while you're coming to the mic.
Okay.
Megan had asked me a question, didn't we do this? Yes, we passed a resolution of intent, must be 2 years ago. However, in the process of trying to fulfill the requirements for pro-housing community, whatever, we haven't had the required minimum growth over the last 3 years or past year. So in lieu of that, they require you to pass this resolution, which by passing the resolution allows people to apply for the New York Forward Grant, for Main Street grants, and several other New York State grants. This is a box you have to check off. Go.
Okay, so one of the problems with affordable housing right now and housing availability is the purchasing of single-family homes on the market, estimated to be at least 30% nationwide. I don't know what the statistic is for this area. I know it exists. Of private homes purchased by private equity firms to make money. So it raises the prices and they make more money. So when you say, you know, there's not enough housing available, in part, it's due to this. Will there be any addressing of that issue?
I don't see that in this resolution.
Yeah,
This
that's a much
resolution-
bigger issue.
Right, but I'm bringing it up because I feel it's pertinent.
That's capitalism, and as far as I'm concerned, we can't dictate who you sell your house to. I couldn't tell you that you're gonna sell your house to this person at $30,000 less because you wanna be nice. That might work for you or me or her, but it's not gonna work for everybody.
Right, I'm just
In an ideal
saying,
world,
but I'm
yes.
just saying I think it needs to be recognized as being part of the problem.
Oh, I agree with you.
Okay, but
You
it's
know,
not part of
because
this.
the county executive actually speaking to Canton Woods seniors actually said, you old people, didn't use these words, you old people need to move into apartments so young people have a chance to live in a house. And we're like, and go where? With what money? I'm just saying, it was a little nervy. It touched a nerve. I feel a little. But the other thing is, like, we talk about walking, but where's the other transportation? You realize there's only 4 buses that go to Syracuse every day? Over the whole day, and then only on the weekdays.
Okay, I hear you, Sally, but you want to speak to the agenda. The agenda is this resolution.
Okay, I'm sorry, I got off
Not
track.
housing problem, transportation problem.
But I would like it just sort of noted that there's these other problems. It's not just, hey, developers, come build in Baldwinsville. We got room. You know.
Once again, that's not what this resolution does.
It's not what
but-
it's,
I'm just trying to put it out there.
Okay.
You know how I feel about it,
Yes,
but
we do.
I like it on the record, so
Okay.
that was my point. And I just wanted to add it because it wasn't on the agenda. Thank you.
Can I have a motion authorizing me to sign it? This is a resolution. Do I need a motion to authorize or just
Yes.
accept the
Yep.
resolution?
motion.
Second.
Any further discussion, concerns by board members? Okay. Once again, the purpose is to allow applications to programs the state has. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Item G.
No, public comments before your
Oh,
executive
thank you.
session.
That's over here. I'm scribbling all over this. Gee, any public comments to things that aren't on the agenda? You, go ahead.
Can I get right up? You want me to sit
Yeah,
back
you
down?
can.
Go back up? Okay.
Sally's
Cindy
going.
Clark, 27 West Genesee Street. You know, I was listening to you talk about the signs that was discussed the last meeting, and I'm hoping, or I wish there could be an easier, kinder, gentler way to deal with things. You know, a lot of people said, well, if you don't know about it, ask. Well, if you don't know about it, you don't know to ask. So who do you ask for the rules, for the code, the local law? A lot of people just don't know. They see a sign down the street that says garage sale, it's on the right of way, they figure they can too. Nobody thinks that it doesn't belong there. So maybe there's some way that it can be publicized again, reiterated, that we do have local sign laws. And I mean, we know, most of us know, because we do. We come to these things and we listen and whatever, but a lot of people don't know.
Okay, Cindy, I've talked with the codes officer about, and I talked with the clerk about it, but I went back to codes of generating wordage something says it's a law, and explain that we could have printed on a sticky thing that could be slapped on a sign.
There it is.
Sign put back into people's yard.
Right.
So, put it at the front door, whatever.
Yeah, wasn't that Trustee
Yard
Shepherd's?
sales.
Yeah, I suggested that.
The originator.
Yeah.
And I just think that
Credit
that's,
where due.
That's just a nicer way to do it. You took the words right out of my mouth. And that's a much kinder, gentler way, rather than somebody losing a sign and saying, gee, somebody stole my sign.
there were a lot of people who thought their signs were truly stolen, they didn't realize.
Right,
it was-
right. That's what I'm
So
saying.
it's definitely a way to get around that, it's definitely a friendlier way to do it.
Yes,
And realistically, with all due respect, some people paid for those signs, they weren't all just
Right.
given to them, so.
right. That's it. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Second on my agenda. I don't know if you've driven on Mechanic Street lately, but there's a behemoth of a building that's been built in the neighborhood that brings customers, or will be bringing customers, to that area. The address says 5 Mechanic. The access to that building is in the back. So people are gonna be driving around looking for how to get in, where to park. There's no room for a driveway on the side because the building is huge. It's 3 stories tall. It's devastating to the neighborhood. I know under current Baldwinsville law, a business is a business and a business can do. I would like to see that changed. I would like it to be, a business can move in. Like there was a business there before. It was a converted home. It fit within the community. It was not a business that had customers coming to that site. It was an electric company, and they would send people out. It's a whole different, and it's just huge, and it's got windows that are looking over at least 2 neighbors' backyards, and it extends past the houses. So I don't know how it got approved, or who approved it, or if approval was even needed. But it's enormous.
Okay,
So can we change the law so the businesses, like we got R&R roofing, it's not a problem. It's low, they don't have lots of people coming to that site. It's not increasing the traffic. I'm just saying, can that be amended?
any of our local laws can be amended.
I might also add that this matter has been referred to the village planning board.
Right.
Well, it was built, the planning board lawyer said she didn't know anything about it.
The matter has been referred now to the planning board.
Okay, so I don't understand what that means, like they're gonna look at it and then?
Yes. And this has to do, my understanding, again, just in discussions, is that there is an existing driveway, and that the only reason that there was access from the back was to bring in wood, and that was the easier way to do it through a parking lot, but the permanent access is not going to be through the rear side. But that's a matter before the planning board as to, number one, the approval of the parking area, the access, the stormwater runoff, that sort of thing. So that's all going to the planning board.
I mean, there's no room for a driveway. The building is so big.
Well,
I'm just saying. And they put their porta potty in the right of way. Just mentioning, if you can't have a sign there, should you be able to put a porta potty there? That's a good question.
That's a good question. I would say no.
I am not.
Sticky note on
I
it.
am not.
Bigger sticky
Well,
note.
there's a sticky note on it, but that's a whole different matter. But yeah, I don't know if it needs to have,
The only thing it needs to do, the wording in our law, and I know, Bob, you're aware of this, was ambiguous as to whether they
Yes.
should have gone to the planning board from day one.
yes.
It was a little foggy. That we can correct for all future things.
Yes, the language in our, and I forgot to bring that up previously, but The language in our code is actually copied almost verbatim from the village law, which says that a village planning board can be authorized to to review the following site plans if required. And it lists what we've considered to be the requirements. If we take shall be authorized and is required, that resolves the problem.
Yeah.
This was a glitch.
Yeah, but it's a big one.
Yeah, but we'll have to live with this one.
I'll propose something for the next meeting.
Okay.
I'm just saying, a house could have gone there.
Yeah, but this
For our
is
housing
typically
initiative.
where,
A house could have gone there and looked just like that building.
yeah,
It was already zoned for business.
yeah, it's in the same
Right,
footprint.
and there's, like I said, it's a different, there was a business there before, but it didn't interfere with the neighborhood.
The business is not operational yet, so I don't think you can say it's going to interfere with the neighborhood.
All of their
If it
business-
does in the future, then we may be able to address something, but
All of your
future
business is
speculation
customers
is-
coming to that site.
They need a certificate of occupancy
Yeah.
before they can actually operate out of that building. And the certificate of occupancy is not gonna be available until the site plan is approved.
Okay. I'm just confused by everything, apparently, but it was baffling to me because I'm like, there's not room for a driveway.
Well,
Because it's so
The site
wide.
plan can require a driveway, so that's something that the planning board does.
I'm just saying, there isn't one. And there's no room for one.
Anyone else wish to address the board?
Mary Ann Williams, Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce, good grief, I don't even remember. You ought to hear, well, you probably have heard me answer the phone sometimes and get all confused. Going back to the safety campaign, this is really just gonna be a social media, online campaign. So it's just, and we're gonna be tagging and we're gonna ask all the participating entities to please share. Just a little something to remind people. And it's a lot nicer than what I usually yell at drivers as they're speeding through. It's a lot nicer. And also the security deposit for the island. I totally understand you do not want people finding that loophole of, oh, it's cheaper than paying crews. And if you do raise it, just perhaps take into consideration past groups who use the island and leave it clean as a whistle.
And it would not affect those people because they would get their.
Yeah, we always get our
no
deposit
matter what the
Amount is.
But it's still a lot to put out at one time,
Right,
that's the
but-
only thing.
Jody, correct me if I'm wrong, do we actually deposit
No,
those checks or we just hold them? So,
Yeah.
so those organizations who in the past have always done a good job and you always get your check back,
it just,
you don't wanna necessarily put it
it
out there.
scares our treasurer and accountant though when it comes out of the QuickBooks immediately, and they're like, so.
Sure, I get that.
Yeah. Couple of quick events coming up. A week from tonight, we have after hours at Olive's Eatery from 5 to 7 p.m. Hopefully it will not be as hot as the surface of the sun because we're going to be outside. On Wednesday, August 6th, we're having our monthly coffee talk at NBT Bank. It starts at 8 a.m. That's not my decision. That was NBT Bank's decision. So we'll see what happens. 2 weeks from tonight, which unfortunately is the same night as the first August trustee meeting, Heart Home and Community is having an open house and the first anniversary of HHC Realty. That's from 6 to 8 p.m. at 12 Oswego Street. On Tuesday, August 19th at 4:30, not 4:40 as I have on there, we're gonna take 2 of After Hours at Lock 24 Ice Cream at 4:30 to 6. And then of course Taste of Beeville on Saturday, September 20th. Thank you.
That was a lot.
I tell you what, it is a lot.
Is there anything else? Nope. If not, then we Could I have a motion to retire to executive session?
Motion, that's second. Okay. One of us, we're good. You know, you figure it out, Joe.
But thank everyone for coming out this evening. It's cooler in here than it is out there.
Yeah, take your time getting back in.